thank you for coming in today.
How are you feeling today? Hi, I'm good. I feel a bit tired, but yeah, I mean, it's still Tuesday, a new week, so I believe it's gonna be a great week. All the weeks. I just feel tired and just want to get some enough rest.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Well, I want to first acknowledge that I'm happy that you came in today. I also want you to know like this is a safe place. Please feel comfortable in sharing. Today is we're meeting each other as strangers, right? So it's a little uncomfortable at first, but hopefully by the end of our session, you feel a little closeness and you feel like you can open up to me and talk about what's going on. So before we get into that, I want to just introduce who I am, a little bit of my background so that you don't feel like I'm a complete stranger. I am currently a licensed counselor and I am under the supervision of Dr. Johnson from HCU. She makes sure that I'm doing everything correctly so that I can get into counseling the right way and provide services ethically, ensure that I'm bringing everything for you that you need. Okay, so all of our sessions are confidential, but being my supervisor will be taking a look at my intake forms and things. She will be seeing things, but other than her and I, everything stays very confidential. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, sure, I'm fine. So you want to tell me anything I say to you, and if something will go out. So what if I don't want your supervisor to be aware?
If you don't want my supervisor to be aware, I will have to discuss that with her and find out how we would navigate that. But I will honor what you want, and if you do not want my supervisor in the situation, then we can approach that a little differently.
Okay, that's fine.
The only time that I will have to break confidentiality is if you or someone is in harm's way, or if I hear that it's child abuse or elder abuse, I will have to discuss that with someone. But before I discuss it with anyone else, I would bring it to you and let you know that I would have to disclose that information, so that it wouldn't come off like out of the blue to you, like, oh my gosh, I forgot that I said that, and now I'm getting in trouble, or I'm in the midst of a bunch of chaos. Just know that whatever you say to me stays here unless there is harm to you or someone else. Understand?
Yeah, sure.
You did fill out all the intake forms. I do have your intake form here. There's a lot of information about you and some health history, some family history, and I will get into that. Before I get into that, I want to know what exactly brought you in today.
Okay, I'm dealing with some relationship issues. I just got into a relationship, not really new, but I would consider it as a new relationship because it's just 2 years and it's a long distance relationship. And it's not been funny, you know, there's a lot that comes with long distance, and it feels like I wasn't prepared for it because this is like my first long distance relationship, and it gives me a lot of mood swings. Me and from my intake form, you're gonna see where I talked about anxiety. Yeah, I always have anxiety issues, and sometimes it gives me some heart palpitation because I don't know what my partner is doing at the moment. Yeah, and we just want to be aware of each other's whereabouts every given time. And then sometimes it creates some trust issues. Yeah, it's been pretty difficult because sometimes I just want to end the relationship and move on. Sometimes I feel really bad that we're not together. I come back from a stressed days activities and I need my partner to talk to. Well, he's probably asleep because we are of different time zone.
Okay, I was
Yeah. Yeah, we're different time zone and he's probably asleep and we're just coming back from work. I need to talk to him. He's not available. So I get a bit cranky and it makes me a nag and I don't know. I feel like I need a solution or um any way I could navigate through it or techniques, anything I could do, to actually go through it because it's really difficult. It's really difficult. And sometimes I wish I never put myself into it. I mean, I really love him. I love him so much. But we're beginning to have some trust issues.
Okay. So, what I heard you say is that you're in a new relationship, newer relationship. It still is 2 years, but that's still new. You're getting to know each other. It's a or a long distance relationship. That long distance causes a little ripple in your relationship with trust. And then the feeling of you needing your partner in times of need. So I would say that what I hear you saying is the trust issues and feeling alone when you need someone are probably the most pressing right now for you.
Yeah, trust issues. And yeah, I feel I'm gonna generalize everything using trust issues because I mean, sometimes my partner might be out there. He might tell me he's going for grocery. How do I know he's actually going for grocery? So I always want to make video calls, and he could be really exhausted. And sometimes at his own end, I feel like he is getting tired the way I always want to know what is he is doing. I always want to know where he is. I always want to talk to him. So yeah, sometimes I wish I could just give him a break and know that okay, this person actually loves me, and I need to, yeah.
Okay. So again, I hear a lot of trust. This building trust not only within yourself towards him, you recognize that some of your actions might be pushing him away or even causing you to not trust as much. Would you agree?
Yes, yes, I agree.
Um, well, I would like to let you know that your feelings are valid. Everything you're experiencing, many people experience in relationships, and trust is one of the biggest things. Especially with like a long distance, keep saying long distance relationship. Um, you don't get to see each other uh, as much as you'd like to. So then there's a need for closeness. And then when you're not hitting that need, now trust becomes an issue because your brain is looking for safety. So what I would say is do not feel bad about your feelings, embrace those feelings and look into what exactly are those feelings trying to tell you about yourself or your significant other.
Also, I'm gonna add, I kind of like have the fear of not getting to see ourselves. Yeah, because we have different time zones, different countries. So sometimes I get really worried. Are we ever going to see ourselves? Um, yeah, I get really scared and like I don't want to invest a lot of time in a relationship and then it ends up not working out. We end up seeing ourselves. Yeah.
Okay. With that being said, how often do you happen to see each other or have you seen each other? Give me a little more information about that.
Okay, I only saw him once, and since then, I have never seen him.
Okay, so one time meeting in person and then long distance relationship. What does a long distance relationship with the two of you look like right now? Like if I was a fly on the wall looking in, or a movie was playing on the two of you, what would that look like?
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna mention the country,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
So he is in Nigeria and in the US. So that's really long.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really long. So me getting to meet him for the first time, like I said, that was when I was coming over to US, and yeah, I just ended up not getting to see him again. So I just met him once, and it's really long. I only have 7 hours apart, like in time zone.
Time zone,
Yeah.
okay. That's like a whole workday.
Yeah. So
Makes sense.
you know, and it's really challenging for me. And sometimes I feel like let me just move on. I mean, we make promises to ourselves, and like I said, the fear of not getting to see ourselves again. Yeah.
So, you had mentioned that you met him once, you came to the US, and you started a long distance relationship. So something brought the two of you together, has shown the two of you that there's something between you. Can you tell me what was that? Like in the beginning, when things felt so good, what brought you together?
So he's an amazing person. I love people who have a forgiving spirit.
Okay.
Yeah. And he has a forgiving spirit. I mean, he is an awesome person. He he pushes me into becoming a better person. And yeah, and he's an amazing person too. And I don't know if I should speak for myself how good I've been in the relationship or when we really met. So I would say that when we met, we were more like best of friends. You know, we go on a date together. We'll make sure we talk about things that we're not comfortable about. And yeah, those are the things that has really kept me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm big on people who really have forgiving spirit and people who are actually understanding. And he has all of that.
Right. Yeah, it would make sense to feel comfortable around people, and you make a mistake, they're okay with it instead of feeling like you're on eggshells all the time. Um, when you had mentioned that you guys were like best friends and you loved the communication, he pushed you to be a better person, he has this forgiving spirit. It sounds like communication skills was a great strength of for both of you in the beginning of the relationship. Would you say that?
Yes, yes, I agree with that. We always communicate about anything, so anything. Because I mean, we're seeing ourselves, we could see ourselves, you know, but why we're having a breach of communication now is the distance.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, coming back from work, he's sleeping, he's going to work, I'm sleeping, you know.
Right.
So it's really a difficult situation to be in.
Okay. Well, I will say that communication skills is usually a problem in relationships and why people aren't connecting or why there's some type of disconnect between the two. And knowing that that is the foundation of your relationship was the communication. I think if we really focus on those strengths of communication amongst the two of you, and then maybe work on that other trust feeling personally without the thought of him, we may be able to bring the pieces together so that you can see your relationship in a different light. Um, I did hear you say like you're not sure if you should just like leave the relationship alone. I believe that you're making those comments because you're at the point of I haven't found a solution yet. How do we get there?
Yeah.
So
Frustrated.
very frustrated. So let's take off that layer of frustration and confusion, and then we can discuss whether or not we leave or stay. But let's just sit in it and see where we can navigate it and go from there. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I love how you opened up and was very vulnerable about a lot of things in that conversation. It made me see you for you. I know we're talking about a specific long distance relationship, but it gave me an insight on who Chidinma is without anything else around. I hear that you're loving and compassionate. I hear that you're understanding, you're forgiving. Um, you actually highlight a lot of the same things that you love about your relationship. Um, it's coming from you, and you are the reflection of that, and you should be proud of yourself for that.
Thank you so much. This means a lot. I mean, this is a lot, and I really want to thank you for that.
Words. I do see on the intake form, you've been experiencing some headaches and chronic pain. Can you just give me a little insight on when do you think the headaches occur, and is chronic pain an everyday occurrence?
Yeah, so the headache occurs when I overthink
Okay.
things, like my relationship, for instance, having this fear of I don't know if it's gonna work out, and also when I have a long day, from work, and yeah, it gives me headaches, and I feel like the major thing that gives me headache is overthinking. Yeah, I'm overthinking. I just want to know the right direction to go to. Should I go out of the relationship? Should I move on? Should I start making plans into both of us being together? I just don't know what to do. So it gives me headaches. Yeah. Gives me mood swings. Sometimes I don't want to talk to anybody.
Right.
I feel very upset, you know. And I had a friend that told me, oh, she's getting married. I felt really sad and at the same time very happy for her. So I felt really sad for myself. You know, I was very happy for her, but I felt really sad for myself that I wish I had a partner. I wish I had my boyfriend.
Right.
So yeah, things like that makes me moody. I just want to sleep. And sometimes I still get difficulty sleeping. Because I mean, if you overthink through things, it gives you really difficult times in sleeping. So these are the things that are really dealing with me, and I really want to see what I can do. Just, move on.
Right. It sounds like the headaches are coming from not only you overthinking, but putting a lot on self for decision making. Um, I can relate to that. I also get quite a bit of tension headaches because I want to make sure everyone's good and I'm the decision maker. But sometimes we need to give ourselves some grace and know that all of our decisions aren't necessarily our decisions, and that we need to work with others around us. Which leads me to do you believe in a faith or spiritual have any spiritual understanding? And would you like to talk to me a little bit about
Yeah. Christian, very good Christian background, and personally, dating Christian as well. So I believe in God, Jesus. I believe in prayers. I believe in talking to God about situations, because sometimes whenever I do that, it calms me a little bit. Yeah. Well, I feel like when you're waiting for something, it has to do with the law. Yeah. So, but at the same time, I try to remind God of His promises to us. So I'm big on Christianity, and sometimes whenever I feel down or moody, I just want to listen to some gospel music. Yeah, it helps a little bit, but sometimes whenever I'm done, I fall back to reality.
Right.
Yeah, it ends up making me cry or yeah, so I'm a good Christian.
So I hear that your faith is what helps you get through the tough times. It is a coping strategy that you use. And despite crying, I do want you to know that crying is a release of emotion. If we have too many emotions, they're all stuck in us and we don't cry, we don't release it. It's just added stress that doesn't allow us to have those decision-making skills.
Yes.
So continue with your strategy using your faith with coping. And I would also say, remember that yes, we make decisions, but it's God's will. And God has it all written for us. So trust the process. And I did hear you say about gospel music, but do you spend intentional time in prayer?
Yes, I do. Oh, I do. I do. I mean, when I'm listening to the gospel music, I just pray.
Okay.
I pray. Sometimes when I'm done, I take my time and pray.
Well,
Yes, so
because it's that listening point. I know we can't hear the voice of God right in our face, right? But pray and listen to the music and really be intentional and then sit and just listen for the signs, the understandings. It's all there.
yeah.
Okay. Well, to hear that you have some faith to lean on, we can bring that in. I am also a Christian, and if you are okay with it, we can bring in some faith-based strategies, and we can discuss God in our lives and how He uplifts us. If you would like to continue with that,
Yes, sure.
okay. Awesome. I do see a little bit of depression, some anxiety disorders, eating disorders, and trauma within family mental health history. Is there anything specific within that you feel a need to discuss with me at this point?
I feel like for the depression, like I said, when I'm just feeling not getting to feeling really happy, and it gets me really moody. Sometimes I feel very depressed that I shouldn't have gone into this. You know, maybe when I was coming into the US, I would have probably ended it, or so it gets me really depressed, and yeah. Sometimes I don't want to eat. I just want to eat some junk food.
To feel better.
Yeah,
Quickly.
yeah. So that's the only thing I want to do. I just don't want to eat. Nothing excites me. You know, I feel really sad. And also, I've seen my elder brother going through some challenges too. So yeah, that's why you saw me fill up my family history there too as well. So yeah.
Okay.
And then it gives me anxiety as well.
Inside, yes, for sure. When our mind is racing,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it.
I'm going to talk about, if you don't mind, I want to share when we had an issue. Okay. So I raised my voice at him, and that really broke me because he didn't speak for a week. It felt like my world was about to crumble.
Right.
Because even love, I love so deeply, and yeah, I wish that doesn't happen again. And it almost happened yesterday. I try as much as possible to avoid it.
So you are learning from behaviors that you don't feel comfortable with, and you did mention that he's a very forgiving person. So I'm sure that helped, knowing that he wasn't condemning you for life for raising your voice. Um, I do like that you have this mindset of improving yourself, not recognizing when you did something that was uncomfortable for not only you, but for coming back and fixing it. Um, we can dive deeper into that in later sessions because I think that's very important to touch upon. One thing I do want to ask before we start wrapping up the session is I continuously hear you talk about how important a relationship is to you, how it it almost sounds to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, that you feel a great worth of being in a relationship. You feel very good knowing you have a significant other in your life. Because you had mentioned with your friend, you're so excited that she was getting married, but you felt disappointed for yourself. And that tells me that building a relationship and being in a relationship is really, really important to you and gives you some type of feeling of worth. Would you agree with me?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, like I said, I believe in love. I believe in marriage. Yeah. So, I mean, I felt some type of way, but at the same time, like, I just need to be positive about myself and believing that money is going to come someday. Yeah. So,
So you still have that hopefulness, and that's what we're going to work upon.
yeah.
And as we continue to work together, we can build goals that will help you stay on track and identify areas of yourself that you weren't even aware of. Some of the trust issues, some of those strong feelings about being in a relationship and having a relationship can stem from childhood or past experiences. And we can dive into that deeper as our sessions go on. And looking over your intake, your strengths have really shown today just in conversation, despite the context of the conversation, your strengths are just pouring out. Yes, we all have some areas that we need to develop, but that's why you're here. And I'm proud that you're here today. Um, so I just want to thank you for coming in today. I believe that I learned a lot about you. I hope you're starting to feel comfortable with me.
Yeah.
And in our next session, we can figure out the route we want to take and goals. I have some ideas. I do want to focus on the trust aspect. I want to talk about past relationships with not just uh, intimate relationships, but in relationships with friends and family, so I can get a better understanding of how you
Thank you so much.
feel. Very nice. All right. See you next time.